Well, hello there. This is Lisa Swank, and we're putting together these tip videos or book reviews at the first of the month in my year or my creative year Facebook art group. And my tip is going to be how, or an experiment, because that's what I'm actually doing, is experimenting. Now, this is a stenciled face. I did not draw this face. It's actually one of Gina's stencils. But I've been playing around. When I first got the stencils, I did some of the stencils on paper to see what they look like, and I decided that that's what I'm going to use to do my experiments on. And excuse me, this is pastel. The blue is pastel chalk, and the green is ink, that I did through the stencil. And I love pastels. I really like them, but I wasn't aware that I could use them in mixed media. And I'm talking about the dry pastels, not the oils. But this smudges and comes off, and I wanted to play around with something other than because this is just mixed. I'm sorry, the acacia trees are coming into bloom where I live, and I'm allergic to them, and that's usually the start of my allergy season, is when those acacia trees bloom. So excuse me for clearing my throat. But I do have a regular fixative, and this stinks, and you really have to spray it outside, because it is just, the odor is just horrible. And anybody that has problems with breathing or anything like that, I can't imagine them trying to use this. And I always take it outdoors if I use it. But I don't know where I seen or heard or is using hairspray, and I heard people using Aquanet aerosol. Well, years ago I switched over to everything pump, and for my personal hairspray and whatever. But they have been using that hairspray as a fixative. Now, if it was something that you were going to give away as a gift or sell it or whatever, you probably wouldn't want to use hairspray. But since this is my journal that I'm using to practice in, and so I'm also doing experiments in it. And so I'm going to spray this one down to show you what I do. And I want to say I'm holding it maybe, I don't know, 1.5 feet away from the book. And I'm just going to spritz it with some hairspray. Hopefully that's enough. Now, I think these dots will dry up where you cannot see them, because now I did have a piece of, because of course you don't want to close your book on, well, darn it. see I got another free one here. I don't know what I did with it, but I'm just gonna lay this over it so it doesn't stick to this other page, because I want to show you this one. And you know, I've been showing these excuse me, pictures like in 3 videos, and it's because I've been itching to get back into this one, because I sprayed this one with this Suave hairspray, and you know, it does not, it fixed it down to the paper, and none of it smearing. If you know chalk pastel, it smears pretty easily. But since I did that, I'm just really thrilled that I can go back in to using my pastel chalks in my mixed media. And I was so surprised that the hairspray worked so well that I wanted to play around with this a little bit more. So I'm probably going to fast forward from here, because I'm going to add some more layers on this. Now, I have experimented with this one already. After I used this, I did an experiment with it, and this was the result. I mean, I've got paint, ink, stays on ink, ink pen, gesso, and the gesso is what's amazing, because I fixed the background pastel down, and then I sprayed it with the fixative, you know, so it made it stick. And then this is gesso that I put on top of it, and as you can see, it's still white. It did not seep through, even though the gesso was wet when it went down. It did not move the fixative. And so I was just really tickled with that it works so well. And so I'm going to do some experimenting like that with the hairspray, but I think I want to go back into this with a little more chalk, and then I'm going to spray it down again with this, so we'll have 2 layers of the hairspray. And I'll come back and talk about the results, see if it's a worthy thing to do in your journals as you're practicing. Like I said, I was really pleased that I could actually use my dry pastel chalks in mixed media on that other page. But that fixative, the professional fixative, is really harsh with a lot of people. And you know, we're just practicing in here. That's it. And so I wanted to use the hairspray the same way that I did the professional, just to test it to see if it works like the professional kind. Okay, I'll be back in a minute. back and I straightened up her eyes a little bit. And because I'm wanting this to practice with how I can use the pastels and mixed media, budget friendly, without using that stinky fixative. So I sprayed this down with some hairspray, and I think it's pretty much dry, and as you see, none of it is coming up. Now whether or not, because I'm going to test some gesso up here to see what happens, to see if it actually made a layer without letting the blue seep up. That's the thing, because you know, you don't want that happening. And I'm just going to add a little detail here. Just kind of makes the eyes come alive a little bit, I think. It's just to put a little dot of red in the very corners. And really sure I've got this dark line from my graphite pencil here, and I don't know how I'm going to get rid of that. But anyways, let's try the gesso, and then you know, hopefully once that dries, I'll pop back and see if it seeped through. I'll let you guys know. And this will just kind of indicate maybe some clouds or something. It's just a test to see how it goes. Maybe put it all around her. And then I'll just call this done, because you know, it was just an experiment. But of course I never can stop. But anyways, I'll pop back and see if that has seeped through as it's drying, because as you can see, it does look pretty white on there. But anyways, we'll see if it fades away. Okay, be back in a minute. Okay, I'm back, and I just wanted to show you the dried page. And I think this was a well worth tip to share. I'm just amazed. You know, the gesso is now dry, and it's white. It's still white. So the hairspray actually sealed the pastel down enough so when I put the wet gesso on it, it did not disturb. I was afraid that the blue was going to seep up through the white paint. And just to let you know, I did not use my heat gun or blow dryer on this to dry the gesso. I let it dry on its own because I wanted to give it a really good test to see what it would do, and I'm thoroughly impressed with that. And I just wanted to share it with everybody. I'm just amazed that I can use my pastel chalk in my mixed media endeavors, which is wonderful because I love playing with pastel chalk. And so this is my video, and for those of you that are not a member of My Creative Year on Facebook, it's a free art group, and there's daily drawing prompts if you want. We do. We have 4 people doing lessons or giving the group video content, and it's a really fun group. And if you're interested in joining, I will link the link below in the description. And this is my video, so if you like it, please give me a thumbs up, please. And hopefully I'll see you over in the group. Okay, bye bye now.